Peace and Black Power family. Welcome to another episode of New Knowledge Radio. Place where knowledge is born. This is your host, Knowledge Born a Lot. We are back here one more again with a fantastic guest. She won't be a guest for too much longer, but she's a guest today. You understand? This Black Wisdom Spotlight interview. Uh, One interview to two interviews to a special surprise she is going to share with the listening audience today. So let's welcome the magnificent, the powerful, the
Greetings. It's good to be back with you again to get this thing started. To continue on this journey. Kind of breaking out of my shyness. So that's something new for me. I'm ready now. I'm as ready as I'm gonna get. So
that's what I'm
nowhere to
talking
go
about.
before.
That's, that's what I'm talking about. So for the folks tuning in and they just getting acquainted with you, take one little second to introduce yourself and let the folk know what you do, and then we could get into what we're about to get into.
Okay. So my name is Oshun Toyin. I'm a priestess. I'm a mother. I'm a wife. I'm a healer. I do a few things, but I'm here now to be talking about the live readings that I'm going to start doing, as well as offering my products for skincare, for healing, for spiritual services, spiritual work, things like that at the end of each series. But also, I'm a nail technician, a beauty specialist, licensed beauty professional. So I do everything basically in the field of beauty except hair. So that's the other side of what I do outside of spirituality.
Okay. I can't wait no more. So let's just let's tell the family about this surprise. Okay,
Okay.
what's going on? What you want to tell them? What you want to tell them about what you're doing?
Mm. Okay. So I want to introduce my two-part series. One part is going to be the live readings that's going to be presented as Prolific Gateway because it's going to be innovative, creative, as though even though the base of what I do is traditional, it's still as every individual, you have to use your own inborn gifts because nobody's born with the same gifts. We all have a certain way we present uh, our messages, our the things that we come to offer, what we came here to do, our divine gifts, we all offer them in a different way, regardless of what system you are initiated to or practice, whatever it is that you do in traditional systems, which I mean by that, earth-based systems where our ancestors are the seat of that. And then everything outside of that is dealing with nature, the ethereal knowledge that comes from the consciousness or collective consciousness, cosmos, people call it different things. We all have to present our gifts in the way that spirit moves through us to do so. So that is what I want to share. I wanted to basically stop hiding myself. Because what I've been doing was trying to just basically move off of my intuition. I don't read everybody. I don't do spiritual work for everybody because I also believe in protecting my space and other people's space. I may not be the person that is supposed to do the work for someone, and and that person I may not supposed to take on because I may not be able to take on their energy or do certain things with them. So that's one thing I'm bringing that's going to be a little bit different. I want to be honest about that. Even though, no, I cannot work for free. Nobody is supposed to because supplies, time, and energy is not free. The world we live in is not free. We have to all pay bills. We have children. We have lives. We have things that we also want to do, and which we do these types of works to be able to do that. But I also don't want to live as a spiritualist that I want to say not overcharges for everything, but only lives to charge for spiritual work and do what I call template type of work, where I do one thing and it's supposed to fit everybody. That's not how spirit works. Everybody is an individual. So the difference that I'll be bringing is I'm not a commercial um, type priestess. I move in the way that my spirit leads me to move with people. But I want to open up the door for people to be able to access me and me to be able to access those people, because at the end of the day, we all need each other. And what I wanted to share would be, the readings of the day. And I'm going to be doing those on Mondays. I'll be doing the reading of the day on Mondays, where I'll be just talking about basically general or overall energy, as well as directing it toward whatever spirit is saying or whoever it needs to be speaking to. At that point, the gateway that's corny. The gateway will be open for for people to be able to reach out to me to go ahead and get a further reading or investigation on their situation if they feel like what I've already spoke to them. So then you can reach out to me. We can move from there. I will find out if I'm to work for you or with you. Um, because my base is for us to elevate. It's not to do work for basically, let me see, oh, I want to know if somebody likes me, or I want to no, I'm a priestess that deals with healing, generational healing, breaking what's called generational curses and repetitions, showing people how to deal with their ancestors, how to hear spirit, how to tune in, so we can elevate above what is called the mundane or man-made reality, so that we can elevate a little bit higher. So I'll be opening up that, and then also I always provide remedies, something that I may have to do, you may have to do, or we do together. So those things will be available. Those services will be available at the end of that session, and then I have a part two, which I will be doing on Thursdays. I will put the time and everything, or my good host here, he's gonna put the time out there for everybody as far as when I'll be doing that, but it'll be on Thursdays, and I'll be hitting on some topics that people have a lot of common questions about. Something like, do you believe in God? Because when we're spiritualists, people who may have never stepped outside of what they were taught, like a lot of us grew up as Christians, things like that. So some people may have never stepped out of that box, or may have been afraid to, and they want to know when they see people like me, do we believe in God? And then you have questions like, why do you worship the dead? Or, things like that. So I want to address different topics throughout the weeks that we can, or hopefully I can shed some light on whatever spirit allows me to deliver to you. That's what I want to be able to do. So it's kind of, hey girl! Hey sis, I did not know you were tuning in. I'm so happy you tuning in. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, love you too, sister. Love you too. Thank you. Um, but those are some of the things that I wanted to because how do I say it? Let me go back. As I do these things, as I do my work, I also elevate. Because when you are given certain gifts, you have a lot of people that they think is a stepping stone for soliciting, or they think it's something trendy. It's hard. It is not an easy path. It is not an easy path. I wouldn't wish it on anybody, nor would I take it from anybody, because when you choose to answer your calling, you have a lot of work to do. You have a lot to work through with your own stuff, with your own trauma, because there is no healer on this earth that has not had trauma. No one. Because how can you help somebody? How can you present a remedy when you haven't gone through anything? Because you have had no experiences to share. You have no testimonies. So there's a lot of us that people, they come with unrealistic expectations, and they think that because we say we're healers, and because we know we're healers, and because we know what we came here to do, they feel like we're supposed to always walk in a fake light of, oh, we're happy all the time. We don't go through our struggles. We don't go through any of these things. No, we're growing too. We may have collected a certain amount of gifts over several lifetimes. And those things are naturally with us. But as we're living out this lifetime, we still have our own elevation as well. So I hope that, bring some light to certain things. But we'll be going more or delving more into these topics as the weeks progress.
That's what I'm talking about. Okay, do y'all hear that? We about to get intricate over here on the slow cooker. We about to get intricate on the slow cooker, and I love the distinguishing factor. You know that warm energy, but you ain't taking nobody mess either. You see what I'm saying? And the fact that you consider, because we might try to play the little money game, like we done seen it, we done heard it, and things like that. And these things put
Right.
a dark eye on, those who are truly out here in a sincere manner, as a healer, as an
Yes,
African woman. You understand what I'm saying? Like as a
I do.
sister, as a mother, like all of these things all together. So, this prolific gateway is, I love it because African woman, you are the prolific gateway. You understand? You are the doorway from the
I
unseen to the
say,
seen.
yes.
You see what I'm saying? So like
Mhm.
putting it together, like we was talking about hood the last time we was on there, you know, from one side to the other side. You are the matrix. You are the great mother. You understand what I'm saying? And that
I
comes
say,
with a heavy burden.
oh yeah,
The burden bearer, the bearer of the burden of life coming into the physical world, spiritual. You see what I'm
I
saying?
say,
So
yes,
that within itself is a harmonious dance that ain't always so harmonious. You understand what I'm saying?
oh,
So
not at
putting those
all, not
together
at all.
in focus and making that happen in the way that you do, that only you could do. I'm
I
honored
say,
that you would make the decision to come here and share it in the way of the great mother, because the great mother has been suppressed,
mm,
has been made to feel downplayed, has
mm-hmm,
been made to feel disrespected, has been made to
mm-hmm,
feel crazy, because the rest of the world is not in tune with what's happening on the planet, the things that are
mm-hmm,
taking place. Those ones who are seeking to solidify and stay in a position, they're on point with it. They
mm-hmm,
know what to consult, who to consult, what to pay, and also what to take up out of here in order to try to stay in power, or have the mask of illusion of power. You see what I'm saying?
right,
So, it's definitely very key at a transition in a transformation of power to understand what it is, how it's used, how to be aligned with it and not be maligned by it. So we've seen all
exactly.
of these examples the last 6 to 10,000 years on the planet. What the wrong people being in charge.
Mm,
Their stewardship was not necessary. So this transformation of
mm-hmm,
power begins with us as brothers understanding where that power comes from and what makes us powerful. And when we are powerful, how we move, why we move in that manner.
I
So
say, yes,
it's just thankful to have a time of ascension, because
mm-hmm,
I'm gonna just be honest, many of us got real European, you know, got real
ooh,
European in our betrayal of our great mothers and those who came before us. So
that's
this is
just
the
the truth.
opportunity to realign it. You see what I'm saying? And no
Mm-hmm,
longer malign it, and to celebrate, to uplift, and to
I
elevate
say,
in that space. So
wow. You are so on point. You are very on point. And even though I wanted to show you briefly these cards, because everything you said is exactly the energy I pulled. I took a little time to pull a few cards, just three cards. And my question was basically you just pretty much answered it. Actually, my question was, what do I need to just speak on just for today? And even though these cards they don't have our faces on it, unfortunately, but I basically pulled some cards on how did we, my question was, how did we come to this point as humanity, you know? And when I talk about humanity, the base word being hue, people of melanin, people of color, how did we get to the point that we got to? And like I said, these cards don't have our faces on there, but the message is still true. So the first card that I pulled, wait a minute, y'all know I got to get my camera angles together. Okay, so and what this spoke of to me was that, first of all, we got away from appreciating each other. We got away from nourishing each other. The elders got away from passing the torch to the youth so that they continue on or appreciate their traditions. And that's been happening over hundreds and thousands of years now, is that we negated what we had already been given, what was already perfect, what was already harmonious. And instead of us coexisting with that, we chose to go against that existence, meaning now we are living in, again, mundane law. So mundane law does not is not elevated because it's not being guided by higher sources. It's not being guided by nature. It's not being guided by our ancestors. We start getting away from that. We stop feeding our youth. We stop feeding the next generations. And so because of that, we ended up here in the present. Hold up, y'all. Yeah, work with me with the angles now. I don't have it together on it. So we ended up here in the present. And what I see here is depression, a great depression. And it's not depression of finances. Our problem is not finances. We created money by whatever source we created it by. That's a man-made thing. The actual law was called reciprocity. You take from one side and you balance it on the other side. So that's really all we have ever had to do in one form or another. If you take knowledge from somebody, you show gratitude in a particular way. If somebody is feeding you, you clean the dishes. You know, there's different types of reciprocity. Everything is not monetary. And so because we've gotten away from that, we have went into a global depression, meaning people are literally depressed. They're literally in a low vibration, and we are out of our minds as far as many people roaming around right now. You see it every day now through the weather. The weather is gloomy. It's being touched on by man-made contraptions. The energy that we're giving out is so low right now during this man-made pandemic that we're not even uplifting nature, because basically we're a mirror of each other. So now nature is mirroring what we're giving out. So that's what I mean when I say a great depression. And I asked, what would the outcome be? You know, once we start to do the work, once I kept doing my work, and continued on my journey, and people like me, us, you know, because you're one of them too. Um, this is where we're gonna end up being. So once we get to that point, we're going to get back to a state of enlightenment. We're going to get back to a state of happiness. But we had to go through all the hurt, the harm, and all of that to appreciate ourselves. Like I say, people of melanin, we stop appreciating what our ancestors had given us. We stop appreciating the gifts that we had. It was almost like when you give a child a toy and they play with it so long, now they're tired of it and they just throw it to the side. So even though we're alchemists, we came up with all of these things, all these sciences, and you know, these traditional systems. We got tired of it at some point. We got, you know, to the point where we stopped appreciating it and we threw it to the side. That opened the gateway for us to have to go through unnecessary struggles. You know, so what people like to call primitive was actually, what do you call it? It was perfect. It wasn't primitive, it was sustainable. The way that we used to live was sustainable. What we're doing now is not sustainable. And I mean global, it's not sustainable. the end of it is not going to be good. So we have to change some things. And money is only gonna go as far as we go. So that was my three card pull for this session. And that's what I wanted to speak on.
I need to let them see this little preliminary drip over here. Okay, this little preliminary drip we got going on. All right, so they can see and get their mind together for what's happening. Okay, preliminary. Okay, y'all see that? Y'all see this dualistic, this support system. Like I think
Mm-hmm.
that we really don't understand who we are to each other no more, and because of that, we fall in the way. You know, when those columns are upright, we're
Mm-hmm.
upright, and when those columns are broken, we're broken. We're disconnected. You
Exactly.
know, one of
That's
my
that.
teachers, called it dismembered. You know, and now we're remembering, not just in genetic memory alone, but remembering the limbs that were severed and
Mm.
twain and scattered, before the four winds of
Mm-hmm.
heaven. So the
Mm-hmm.
reconnecting, the remembering is what I see right here in this field of celebration. Life is not easy. So even looking at these flowers, there's herbs there that contain, there's poisons to keep predators away. You understand? So like there's
Mm-hmm.
a dualistic type of situation that comes here to where Big Mom used to say, same thing make you laugh, make you cry. You understand what
Okay.
I'm saying? Like
Yep.
so, we're returning to life affirming people that we are. We understand that there's a process.
Mm-hmm.
There's a inception process, there's a
Mm-hmm.
gestation process, and there's a
Mm-hmm.
manifestation in the physical world process. And all of
Mm-hmm.
these
Mm-hmm.
are lives that exist simultaneously. Even though it seems
Mm-hmm.
like it go from one stage to the next, like you're in this period, you wouldn't see a butterfly if there were no cocoons. You see what I'm saying? So that's a gestation period in regards to transformation. So we
Yeah.
see, what's happening and what's taking place. You know, who's in the incubator, who's in the cocoon, and the cocoon is a potential. Every
Right.
cocoon you see
Right.
doesn't turn into a butterfly. You see what I'm saying? Every cocoon, there's no guarantee that you go in this cocoon state that you're gonna come out a butterfly. So as we've seen with this year,
Exactly.
but in order for us to get to this year, we got to look at 2019, 2018, 2017, as far back as you have to go to chart it up to where it is.
Mm-hmm.
Understanding where
Yes.
you are now,
Yes.
tapping into that, you get a chance to understand this, you know, one state, larvae, cocoon, butterfly. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So
I do. I
the,
do.
these are all lives that exist, in that same cycle, but simultaneously. So, where are you in your stage of development? No matter where you
Exactly.
are, we got the prolific gateway that's gonna get you right. You understand what I'm saying? No matter where you are, if you chosen, because just like I said
Yes.
about, every cocoon don't turn into a butterfly. She don't work with everybody. You see what I'm saying?
No.
So
And when
it
you
has
try
to
to
be
catch them, what they
something
do? Try to catch a
in
butterfly and see what they do.
you. Right, right. So I just wanted them to see that, real
Thank
quick.
you.
So
Thank you for
they can.
highlighting that. You are awesome host. Yeah, and it's just like a lot of different, and what we got to realize too is we going through, how do we call it, a shred in existence where we are like right now, our divine ancestors, our guides, there's also extra ethereal spirits that's surrounding us right now, and they're waiting. They have been for a while, but now that veil is very, very, very thin. I mean, very thin. So it's going to be some things to be seen in the next few years. So we see it as a physical war, but what we are, as people of melanin are warring with is actually ourselves, because you have these Europeans that's basically a contrast of what we are. It's the negative version of ourselves, and then we have enough negative versions of ourselves that's basically continuously coercing that type of ideology, those mindsets, the destruction of nature, destruction of our ancestry, the destruction of our traditions, the destruction of our minds. So there are a lot of traps basically out there right now. And what it is trying to see who's going to stand up, because the earth is about to get ready, what do you call, to level the playing field. So the numbers are going to level out on their own. This the thing. So you can only do so much damage to nature before it resets itself. So that means this earth has been here before we know it, before we've known about it. We don't even know how long. It'll continue to be here. So what's going to happen is going to reset what is causing it harm. And if we want to continue on as the originators and the keepers of this earth, because we are charged with that, and we abandoning it, by abandoning our traditions. That's a big part of abandoning it, because we had a direct relationship with nature. We have a direct relationship with nature. We have a relationship with our ancestors, regardless of whether we choose to just see them as dead people. Whatever we looking at it as, we have relationships. That's what's called like an outstanding balance right now. And until we tend to it, it's going to continue to accrue. And so until we actually start dealing with that, it's just tilting the scales until it balances itself anyway, because it's going to happen. So it's like you either go, what they say, kicking or screaming, or you go willingly. So why I use the name prolific is because it just simply means innovative and creative. It's the continuation of creation through the basis of what we were already given. Nature in itself, just working with nature, is very creative, very creative. There's so many different things that you can do in nature, rituals that you can do. So you can just basically, how do you say, bond with nature to show appreciation. And in turn, it's felt because it's alive. Nature is alive. The plants are alive. The earth is alive. Water is flowing because it's alive. So when we balance those energies, it in turn takes care of us. But because we've been neglecting it, there's just a lot that's, how do you say, out of order right now. So I want to be basically a gateway of opening those doors to the best of my ability. With whatever it is that I'm given, that's what I'm here to share. Because for one, I don't want to go back to the ancestral realm and they say, we gave you all these gifts and you sat on them. You didn't do what we told you to do, and you had opportunities. So what I pray for, and I share a personal prayer, is I pray for divine connections, because sometimes we have gifts, but we don't know how to use them. We don't have the resources. So you have to ask for those resources so that you can be able to open up the doors for yourself. And most of the time, like for myself, for example, I'm not a camera person. I'm an in-person person. I talk to people in person. I'm not shy in person, but I am on camera. So I had to break out of that, because it was like, you got to be seen. Nobody's going to know who you are if you don't say anything, if you don't speak up, if you don't, step out. Nobody's going to know who you are. And so my sis who commented on this post, she introduced me to you, and I said, well, we on the same wavelength. It wouldn't have worked probably if I had gone to somebody else as a host, or somebody else to help me, because they wouldn't have had the understanding that you have. You see what I'm saying? So once you ask for the correct resources and connections, what you do is you keep working, and the universe opens it up for you. It'll come to you. So we are here to be resources for each other. We all hold each other's medicine in one way or another, but we got to step out there. And through all this stuff in the pandemic, I'm going on a tangent, but something, I was just hearing, there's a lot less love in the world and a lot more fakeness. Everybody's pretending to be something. They're trendy, but nobody is sincere. The truth of everything, the truth is missing. You see what I'm saying? So everybody's, not everybody, but a lot of people are touching the surface of things, but not promoting the healing so we can keep moving forward, so we can break through this barrier. Because again, like I was saying in the beginning, the veil is very thin right now. So all the help that we need is already hovering. We just got to go ahead and step out there.
That's right. And I am so glad that this referral network was strong enough on both sides of the Uplifting Gateway to bring you this way because I ain't got it. You understand? I ain't got it. So my job was to set the place up for those who have it to give it. You see what I'm saying? So you have it.
You got it. When you speak, the ancestors speak through you. I hear it. I can hear it. So you doing exactly
Listen,
what you came here to do.
my mom and them be showing out. You know what I'm saying? They be making me look down like my mom and them and my daddy and them. So this blessed lady, she got a surprise tomorrow. So I ain't gonna blow up her surprise today. She
Yes.
gonna blow up her own surprise tomorrow for the
Oh
fans.
yeah, I
So
can't
make
wait.
sure
I'm
y'all check
definitely
us out.
tuning in. Definitely tuning
8
in. That's
p.m.
another
Eastern
powerful
Standard
twister right
Time.
there.
Right, right, right. Because if you raggedy, African women they ain't about to connect you with nobody. Okay, they're gonna be like, you need to
No.
get yourself together first, brother. You need to
Mm-mm.
get yourself together first, brother.
Yeah,
Okay.
baby, because that
So,
mindset, like even the way we dress, the way we look, and I'm not saying go out there and get no expensive clothes or brand yourself with people who don't like you. What I'm saying is, to us as a people, we have a certain image to that we owe to this world, and that's to show that we care about ourselves. So we can't just go out there looking any kind of way and just being raggedy, looking raggedy. We hood, we real people. We do what we do, but at the same time, your mindset, the way that you present yourself to the world, shows your mindset. You know?
100% correct.
But
100%
yeah,
correct. So,
that's kind of that's kind of where kind of some of the things that I want to touch on. I don't think I feel like spirit up and left the building just now, so I guess that's what I got.
y'all just shut it down. So, for people, let people know where you are and,
Okay.
when you're there, when they could come by, and all of the things like that. Give them that rundown.
Okay. So where I'm located right now is in the International Discount Mall, located at 4140 Jonesboro Road. I'm in booth 425, purple and pink booth. You can't miss it. My days of operation are, what is it, Thursday through Monday. Let me see, Thursday, Friday. Yeah, okay. I had to make sure Thursday through Monday. And I only offer nail services on Friday and Saturday because, again, like I said, I'm definitely making sure that I get my work done on this earth as a priestess, because I don't want to disappoint my ancestors or my bloodline, my children. So those are things I have to dedicate more time to. And as far as my skincare products, you can buy those in store. I can also ship them to you, depending on your location. But those things will be located here in this store. And if you have any skin issues that you need to speak about or talk to me about, I can suggest some things for you. And I also have some things for you. So that's another part of my healing, is healing through beauty. So I offer those skincare products to literally heal. I don't make anything with fluff or dyes or anything like that. Everything is herbal based, plant based, and herbs. So that's mostly what I work with. My times, you have to check my site for the times because the mall hours will be changing, not mine, but the mall hours itself will be changing in January. And as I am still, gathering some things, I craft all of my products by hand. So I have to take some days off to do some things. My site will be updated. My booking site will be updated for services if you need services. My phone number will be available. 404-979-0014 is available if you need to call or text or you need to pick up something and I happen to not be here. Because like I said, I will be here regularly, but right now, regularly soon. But right now, like maybe this week and next week, I am still kind of adjusting to everything that's just taking place. So bear with me on that. But everything is still available right now for purchase and for me to speak to you.
Social media, you know, you dealing with that social media. Let them folks know where they can find you on social media and see all of that transformation power that you got on them nails out there. You be showing off, stunting, got them stunting. So if you want to stunt, y'all, if you want to be out here stunting and dripping, she got you.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. That's why we gotta look like who we say we are. So take
That's
care of
right.
yourself. Self-care is a part of mindset.
We'll give them a little jewel on that self care. Because we got the self care specialist coming in tomorrow. Okay.
Oh
Get them ready
yeah,
for the
that's
self
right. That's
care.
right. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah. Yeah.
self-care is that's the basis of how we are able to even do what we do, because if you don't take care of yourself, you are not able, you have nothing to share with anybody else. So self-care is important because it's almost an art. It's an art that a warrior basically, how do you say it? It's a warrior art as well, because it's like you have to fight through. Like today, I didn't really feel like doing anything. I didn't feel like get dressed to come out, whatever. But I fought through it because that warrior side of myself said you got something to do. People are depending on you. You put this information out there, your children looking at you. You got to get up, shake off whatever you feeling, and you got to handle your business and do what you got to do. So that was part of my self-care. So I said, well, I don't want to look like what I'm feeling like and not to be fake, but I actually started feeling better when I got here. So I got up and, I tried to do my eyes and, look like what I say I do, so that when I came in, I was in that state of mind. And self-care is important because you're taking care of your body, you're taking care of your mind, you're taking care of your spirit, and they all respond to each other. So you can't say that you're high in mind or you're an elevated spirit, but you're not taking care of your body, you're not taking care of your health, and you're not taking care of yourself, because the thing is, your body is temporary. It fades over time. So the most we can do so that we can carry out our work on this earth is to take care of our bodies so that we have all the time we need to do our work. And that's all I can really say about it right now.
Well, we definitely thank you for your
Thank
time,
you.
for your jewels, for your love, for your healing energy, and everything. You understand what I'm saying? Very well
Thank
received.
you.
And we
Thank
send you
you.
that same love back because we know that healers need healers as well. So
Yes.
we need to be reciprocal with our energy, you know, that can't
I
just be
should.
taken and not given, you know. I saw one of the memes. I don't really like the meme stuff, but I seen one of those memes that don't call her a goddess and don't bring an offering. Okay.
Mm,
So,
all right.
okay,
I like it.
just putting that
Right
out there
on.
for the fam, you know what I'm saying? So, when you see these goddesses out here, you know, come to them with an offering, come to them like you supposed to.
I say that's real, and we're gonna have to touch on that the next time. I'm gonna make sure I remember that because that's a big subject in itself right there. Okay.
Mm, okay.
All right.
Well, we
Well,
about to get
thank
up
you for
out of
having
here.
me.
For reals.
All right, until next time, y'all. Love,
And we're gonna see the
blessings, and elevation to us all.
to us all in them.
I share. All right.
We out, y'all.
Yeah. Now we gonna tell them that in front. We tell them like this, yo. I'm an African. I'm a African. I'm an African. I'm a African. Yeah, y'all like that? No more. This man's mind is open. I'm an African. I'm a African. I'm an African. I'm a. Let's get
And
back
that
to the
motive
gritty
is best developed by recognizing the common enemy.